Hi, and welcome to the space. So, today I wanted to talk about what not to do when you're job hunting. The reason I want to talk about this is I get so many messages on LinkedIn where people are asking you for jobs. And, if you're not aware of this, like people cannot hand you jobs, even if they're the CEO of the company or they're the head of HR. These days you have to give people, you have to level the playing field. And so, in my parents' time, somebody could just say, this is my child, can you help them? Or this is my cousin, or this is somebody that I know, can you help them? And you could literally get a job. These days, there's a process that you have to go through because, everyone is trying to level the playing field so that it's not just about whom you know. So today I wanted to share three things that you should not do when you're job hunting. And these are very practical. So I hope that it helps you. Do share your tips with me in the comments. Number one, so before I share the tips, I wanted to talk about some things just to keep in mind, right? So I want you to know that these people that you're sliding into their DM and asking them for things, or people that you're asking them for a job, are strangers. They don't know you and you don't know them. So it's difficult for them to just do something, which means just bear that in mind, that these people are strangers, they don't know you and you don't know them. Also know that these people are busy. So, they are either executives or, leaders in senior level positions, they're moms, husbands, they are busy. So just bear that in mind. They're strangers, they are busy. And that someone, the third thing to bear in mind is that maybe somebody is managing their page, their social media. So it may not necessarily be them, managing their social media. So it could be that individual, but it could be somebody that they have hired to support them with that. So just bear those three things in mind. And if they are the ones who are actually managing it, then you should know that their attention span once they get on that page is super short. So they're either there to like look at something or they're there to post something and they're busy. I fall in that, category. When I go onto LinkedIn or onto social media, if I have 5 minutes, I'm targeted. I know exactly what I'm there to do and I get it done. So just bear those three things in mind. So now let's go to the don'ts. Um, don't ask strangers for recommendations. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes because I wanted to make sure that I share all those tips and tricks. Don't ask strangers for recommendations or ask strangers to be your mentor. It doesn't work that way. It's awkward when you're asking a stranger, can you be my mentor? Can you be my coach? Can you recommend me for a role? It's difficult. Like, is the realistic answer is no. No, I cannot be your mentor and I cannot be your coach because I don't know you, and it will be disingenuous if I'm saying things about you that I'm not sure you actually are able to do those things. So it's a little bit awkward. So don't ask strangers for recommendations. Try to form a relationship. We'll get to some of the do's, but don't ask strangers for recommendations and ask strangers to be your mentor. The second don't is that don't just send your CV to somebody and say, can you find me a job in the company that you're working at? I mean, they're not the CEO, they're not the owner of the business. They don't have as much power as you think they do. A CEO cannot just go to the head of HR and say, make sure you hire this person. It's important that you hire that person. And again, connect it back to the fact that they don't know you, so they don't know that you're a good communicator. They don't know that you're great at what you do. They don't know that, so it's difficult for somebody to recommend you when they don't know you. So don't just send your CV to the person and say, can you find me a job, in the company that you're working at. The third don't is don't harass people, and slide into their DM and then you're harassing them. Why are you not looking at my CV? Why are you not getting back to me? Why are you not, getting me a job in the company that you work at? That, of course, that is definitely not going to get you the job, right? So do not harass people that you don't know and, asking them for a job. So those are the three don'ts. And then I want to share a few do's which I think would be helpful. Some of the, and those are all like simple things that you can do. It doesn't mean that it will end you in a job, but at least it's a better way to form a relationship with somebody that you're hoping in future can recommend you, or somebody that you like the company that they're working at, that you're interested in learning more about them. So I do acknowledge their work. If they're posting about something their company did, or if they are sharing some article that they read, acknowledge that. Say something in the comments, or send them a note and say something like, I did see the article that you posted, I read it, and it was really nice that I saw these three tips and I could relate to what you said. Of course, you're not going to say you could when you cannot, but like, be interested in what they're interested in, because that will definitely catch their attention. Another thing that you can do is to ask for advice, or ask for, if you could share one. I'm currently in the job market, I'm a fresh graduate. If you could share one tip with me that would help me as I, on my journey, on this job hunting journey, what would that be? I would really appreciate that. So ask for a tip, ask for a hack, an advice, something that you can share with you to help you progress your job hunting journey. Just remember that it is also very weird to ask strangers for things. So again, connecting it to some of the don'ts that I shared, like you send your CV to somebody and you're like, can you get me a job in the company? And they don't know anything about you, right? So with these do's, it's really about trying to form a relationship. And then last do that you can ask is, say something like, if you can point me in the right direction of, where to look for a job, or where you post your roles and what the process is like, or somebody that I can talk to, on my career journey. So you're asking for a lead. You're not asking that, hire me, like recommend me for this job that I have seen on your company's website. You're asking, how, is there a lead? Point me in the right direction in terms of, how to get this job, or how to make sure that the recruiters are noticing my CV. I think I see this more from people who are, fresh out of college, or, people who really, I've been there and I understand where you are, but I'm telling you that how you are approaching it is not going to help. And so I hope that, these three don'ts and then these three do's, would help you towards your own journey. It's not, I'm not saying that it will help you get the job immediately, but it will help you build that relationship with a person that you think would be a good person to recommend you, or that they will just notice your name. And if your name comes across their desk, they're like, oh, this is the person who sent me a note about seeing the article, and they shared some really insightful things about that article that I posted. So be interested in that. I hope that these tips help you. Feel free to share your reactions and your own personal job hunting tips and tricks in the comments below.